First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
To throw is Smith. And he's got Smith and Jigba. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 22 yards there, a first down.
First and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Now it's Smith. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. And now Smith going to change the play. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete here.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. To the air again, Smith. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
Myers' kick is good, and they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
And especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack. And they're staring up at a 3rd and long. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Now that'll be caught by Kupp. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And the slot man goes in motion left. And they'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw. It's knocked away and incomplete. On third down, here's a run by Akers. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
In motion right, that's Metcalf. Back to Walker on first down. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Smith. And Walker with it over the middle. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 39 yards there, a big one. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 11 more on that one and another first down. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
Throw out wide to Walker. Touchdown, Seahawks. Kenneth Walker, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Their own 20-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game and the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Stafford. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Julian Love picks it. Things just kind of continuing to... Second half, they take the shot downfield, but this defense once again up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
Running left is Walker. Down at the 25.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's Smith now on 2nd down. And this a quick slant to Lockett. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Smith going to throw on 3rd and 1. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Now Smith. And Walker has it. And here he'll get it down to the 7. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
Down near the goal line, things really get physical. You're always anticipating a running play, but when they do throw it, things happen quickly. A little bit of a bang-bang play there that falls incomplete.
Now Smith on 3rd and goal. He completes this to Walker. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So, Charles, they get to him with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this third quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Here's a run with Akers on second down. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. On first down, Stafford here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. Desperation time for Stafford on fourth down. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball in a comfortable fourth quarter. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Now Stafford. Short throw, it's Higbee. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their...
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Cam Akers, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Rams are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7.
Rams 7. Brett Maher is set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, here's Maher to kick it away. Eskridge going to keep this one in the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a two-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
Gino now to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick six makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. Fresh off the pick six, it's Smith. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
They'll try to jet sweep. Stafford pops it forward. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there. And they'll go backwards right away. This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Marr is good. And we are all tied here in the final stages. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Smith's going to throw it. Gets this to Fant, and he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
A nice job here getting the tight end involved. He's going to line up on the inside, and then off of play action, he's going to test the secondary by running a corner route. His outside receiver takes all the attention deep, and then he'll just find the open space, and he pulls the ball in.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Smith to throw. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Rams are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity. Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This one's had a season's worth of thrills already, but it's still week 1. Here's 3rd down now. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Who wants it more? This is 4th and a yard. They'll run for it with Akers. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Final minute, 1 timeout remaining. 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. Down inside the 40. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Here's 2nd down. Going right back to Akers. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. No tougher place to be in a spot like this than Seattle. Here's 3rd down. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So it all rests now on the right foot of Brett Maher. This to almost certainly win the football game. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
This is 1st and 10. Smith. This ball intercepted. inside the 20. And the Rams are going to hang on the final play. They get the turnover to seal this football game. Well, this was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.